Rachel, I want to say thank you for getting us all started here. On today, my name is Shalonda Graham, and I am a family engagement facilitator with the Office of Family Engagement. Today, we have with us for our CoVideo chat of computer programming and cyber certificate, Amanda Miles, the director of the Area 21 program. So glad to have her with us. And before we turn it over to her to present to you all, I'd just like to let you know on the chat today, we have two co-workers, other family engagement facilitators. We have Nina Vergara and we have Mary Lisa Wade. If you could just wave your hands, that'd be great. They are here with us. And you know what? I would like to introduce Rachel Fleming, who is our admin, who is absolutely the wheels that turn our bus. So I wanted to add that as well. So thanks, Rachel is here with us as well. And just a few social norms. Right now, I'd like to go over the fact that as they're presenting, I would like for you to keep your microphones on mute. And if you do have any questions, please put them in the chat and we will definitely get to those questions. Or if you need to raise your hand at the end, we'll go ahead and unmute you so that we can get your questions answered. Thank you. And I want to turn it right over to Amanda.
Awesome. Thank you, Shalonda, Rachel, and everyone for having me join you tonight. Like Shalonda said, my name is Amanda Miles. I'm the director of the Erie 21 program at Lemoyne College. Erie 21 is a grant-funded program. It's part of Mayor Walsh's Syracuse Surge initiative, and it stands for Education for Our Rising Innovation Economy. And so our goal is to prepare individuals of all ages for roles in tech and innovation locally here in Syracuse, stretching out through central New York. You might recognize the name Erie 21 because we do currently serve over 300 students in the Syracuse City School District between the middle school and high school programs. So we may very well have some of your students in those programs. And if we do, it's really great to have you now hopefully involved as well. And so I won't take up too much of your time. I know it's the holiday season and everybody is very busy. So I'll go ahead and share my screen. And like Shalonda said, happy to answer any questions from the chat, or feel free to just raise your hand and we can talk out some questions as we go through. All right, so let me share that. Okay. Sorry about that. Zoomed out by the end of the day. All right, so like Shalonda mentioned, I wanted to bring to you two potential opportunities for you to further your education with Lemoyne College, potentially at no cost to you. And so those opportunities include a undergraduate certificate in computer programming or an undergraduate certificate in cybersecurity fundamentals. And so these two programs are brand new to the college. We are launching them this January, and they will be 1 year in duration, and we were all informed by local employers. We spent a lot of time with local employers and industry partners saying, what are you looking for in your candidates when you hire them? And what are the skill sets that you need to see? And out of that came these two programs. And so I'll run kind of through what you can expect to learn through these programs very quickly. So the computer programming certificate will help you learn program development, design techniques, and software testing strategies. Gain an understanding of at least two programming languages. The two that will be covered will be Python and Java. Now, if you are not a computer programming expert, like I am not, I don't know Python and Java, but what we do know is that if you can learn one or two languages, your brain works that way, and you should be able to adapt to other programming languages if you are to enter that as a career pathway. So we focus on those two because those are the most comprehensive. You will also develop communication, interpersonal, and team building skills that will obviously be invaluable no matter where you end up. And then with cybersecurity, similarly, we'll teach you to identify risk and the impact on the systems, people, assets, data, and the capabilities. I know that cybersecurity is huge. Obviously, I don't think you can turn on the news without hearing about it these days. And that means we're going to need more and more people trained to deal with cybersecurity. And you will also be able to develop and implement appropriate safeguards to ensure that services are delivered safely, and formulate and implement appropriate responses when breaches do occur. So the people who are kind of able to think like adversaries and use it for good, those are the kind of people we want for cybersecurity. And just so you know, we hope that individuals have kind of a baseline knowledge of computers, but you don't have to have any previous experience in computer programming, coding, cybersecurity, anything like that. We really start at the very, very ground level and then build upon it with each class that you take. So if you think, I have no experience in this, this couldn't possibly be for me, my response to you would be that this could be for anybody. And so things you would need to know: classes do begin January 18th. So we are on a little bit of a tight timeline. I will admit that. Not how I prefer to function, but sometimes that's how things unfold. So classes do begin on campus on January 18th. There is funding available for bus passes and parking passes. So if you do not have transportation to Lemoyne, we are able to help you figure that out. We have a great staff that will be able to help you troubleshoot that. We are right on the central bus line, which I know is having its challenges right now, but we can help you figure that out. They are going to be Monday and Wednesday evenings from 5:30 to around 8 p.m. And then the anticipated graduation date will be December of 2022. And so the way it would work is you would take 15 to 16 credits, depending on the program you chose. There would be classes offered for January to March, March to June, and then there will be another set in June, from June through August, and then a final set of classes that would get you through to December. So 1 to 2 classes per semester, we'll call it, in an effort to build on top of the other classes as you go along. And you'll get a cohort, you'll be in there with other students who are looking to gain this skill set and advance in their careers just like you. And along the way, you would get supports that I'll talk about momentarily. Full financial aid is available to people who are residents of the city of Syracuse or those who demonstrate high financial need. So when you go to apply, you'll indicate your household family income. And from there, we'll be able to determine if you're eligible for financial aid. If you have specific questions about that, I'll put my information in the chat before I sign off so that you can reach out to me. But also those whose employment was impacted by COVID-19. So as we know, COVID had a tremendous impact on a lot of us for many different reasons. One of those obviously being employment. And so we did receive American Relief Plan funds that we're working with through Center State CEO to pay for some individuals to go through this program. So again, if you have any questions about funding this, please don't hesitate to reach out. Payment options are available for those who don't meet income requirements. So while we do have scholarships available, those are limited, but it is an option that you could pay for the program. And I'm happy to talk to you about that. There are, and it would be kind of on a payment plan. So you would pay for the semester that you are currently in. You wouldn't be expected to front everything up front. And then there are also corporate payment options. So if you work at an employer right now that you think might want to invest in you and your growth, and you think this is something they could be interested in, please don't hesitate to let me know. And we have somebody who does employer relations and can go out and meet with your employer to talk a little bit more about what's going on and help get that set up for you. So some more things you need to know. Applications are currently being reviewed. We've started and we're moving fast and furious, knowing the holidays are coming up, so we kind of lose a little time there. Limited funds are available. So priority is given to applications that are received by December 23rd. Again, that's next Thursday. So the application is not too lengthy. So it's fairly simple to fill out there. So I'll pull that up for you in a second. You'll submit your application on the Lemoyne College website. If you don't already have an account with Lemoyne, you'll have to make one, and then you'll select the continuing education app. So there's a lot of different apps that'll pop up there. There's undergraduate, graduate. So make sure you look for continuing education and then select the program of interest to you. Once we receive your application, we'll screen that, and then there will be a 15-minute phone conversation with me just to get to know you a little bit and find out more information about your motivation to be in the program and make sure you think it's the right fit and that we think it's the right fit. And then you'll have a 30-minute Zoom meeting with the staff members from the program. So we have some professors of practice. So you'll be in the classroom with these individuals who have a significant range of work experiences in cybersecurity and computer programming. And so they'll be working with you and teaching you along the way. And then there will be an orientation on January 10th at Lemoyne. And we will also have some recorded options, knowing that sometimes it's challenging to schedule. So if you're accepted into the program, we would hope you would come to that and meet the faculty, the staff, and your cohort before you begin. So what you invest would be your time, your commitment, and your persistence. And what you would receive from that is free college credit, mentoring and advising, So you will be connected with employer partners. We have several employers who are really invested in this, local employers who want to hire people. They want to hire people with these skill sets. They helped us build these programs and now they want to hire from them. So you'll also get a faculty advisor. Professor David Voorhees is his name, and he has created this program and has really been instrumental in the success so far. Employer connections, as I mentioned, you'll get a cohort of peers because as we can provide you all the other supports, but sometimes your peers are the best possible support you can have. And then you'll have access to Syracuse support services. So we have staff on hand that can help you, if transportation does become an issue, if you have an issue with childcare, you name it, we're going to help you connect with the resources that you may need to succeed through the program. So if you're interested, you can go online. I'll go back and click on the link just to show you what you're looking for, or you can reach out to me directly. My email address is on the screen there, milesam@lemoyne.edu, or you can just email us at erie21@lemoyne.edu and we can help get you where you need to be. So real quick, before I pause, I'll show you what the application looks like. So if you go onto lemoyne.edu/erie21, there's going to be this gold banner right here that indicates apply for your certificate programs. Just going to click on that. And then if you scroll down to the bottom, those are the two options that you have. And so all you would do is click on the program that you want. There are some FAQs. So if you're like, I have no idea what's involved in computer programming, that's fine. We do have, should everyone learn to code? So you can kind of go through and play around a little bit and see if you think just based on that knowledge, it's the right fit for you. And then from there, fill out the application, and it's pretty simple, basic demographic information, and then a couple questions, short answer questions, but shouldn't be anything that would take you too long because we understand your time is valuable. So I will pause there and see if there are any questions.
Just ask if you could show your information again, because
Sure.
I don't know if people got a chance to put it.
Yeah, you know what I'll do? I'll put it right in the chat so everybody
Okay.
can have it. And then I can send you, I have like a digital flyer that I can also send to you. So you could pass that along to everybody too. Because I know everybody receives information differently. So let me put that in there. And then my number, my direct line is 4454550. Lots of 4s and 5s at Lemoyne, and you can just call me there. That goes right to my cell phone. So if it's after 4:30, I'll still get it, and I'm happy to chat with anybody.
I don't see any questions at this time.
I have a question. Sorry.
That's okay.
You stated that the program will be even. Is there possible you have any morning schedule? And if not, what is the stipulation with the child care? Because you said if we didn't have if we have an issue for child care, then we will have services to provide.
So Lemoyne right now doesn't offer childcare, but what we do is we have staff who can connect you with appropriate support services in the city. So we could, we'd have to talk offline with you and figure out what the circumstances were, and then we could connect you with the proper resources to take care of that. Right now, we don't have any daytime courses. This is the very beginning of the rollout of this. So this, right now we just have the in-person program. There are going to be more coming down the pipeline that I think if I'm welcome back, I'm happy to share in the spring, the other opportunities. We do offer a careers in code boot camp with Hack Upstate, which is a local organization that does a 24-week boot camp. And those are a little bit different because those are all virtual with some in-person learning. And then we're also working on some asynchronous options, meaning that you could attend class at a specific time or take the class at a time that's convenient for you. So right now, unfortunately, the only options we have are evenings. But if you are interested in applying and you're anticipating any issues or barriers, like trying to figure out childcare or transportation or anything like that, don't let that stop you from applying, because we can help you figure out how to address that.
All right, no transportation issue because I drive. I just have 2 kids, and I don't know for those 2 days how I'm gonna. Yeah.
We're working. I keep ringing the bell about getting childcare. So hopefully someday we'll figure that out. But yeah, I hear you there. We'll definitely help you connect with some local resources for that.
Okay.
And then we do have some questions in the chat.
Yeah.
Can high school children apply?
So if your student is a December graduate, or, is graduating this month, and will be done with high school as of January, they can apply. If not, they would have to wait until the next round, which would be, we're potentially starting another cohort this summer. We're working on some logistics of that. If that's the case, we'll let you know. But if not, it would be January of 2023 that they would be able to start. But if your student is interested in computer science or cybersecurity or anything like that, we do have a program for high school students in Erie 21 that we would be happy to enroll your student in that as well. They do really great college prep, exposure to career opportunities and things like that. So if your student has another semester, that would be a great option for them.
Thank you for that. I know you went over this, but they might have signed in a little late and they wanted to know, is it a free program?
Yeah, so possibly free, depending on your circumstances. So we do have about 16 full scholarships available. So it would cover the whole cost of the program to attend for all the classes for the whole year. So when you fill out your application, we will review that and separate into people who, meet income requirements, who meet the requirement of being impacted by COVID-19, who are local. We want to keep talent here in this community. And so we'll sort people into different categories, and there's different funding for different elements of it. But ultimately, there's a very real possibility that you wouldn't have to pay anything for this program.
Great. And it says, what are the vaccine regulations?
So at this time, Lemoyne, it does require vaccines unless you have a religious exemption or medical exemption. And so if you are unvaccinated and you think that that might impact your candidacy, please, feel free to reach out to me and we can figure out what that process would look like. I personally haven't had to do that yet, but I can certainly work with you to figure that out. We do have some individuals on campus right now who are not vaccinated for whatever reason, but I know that there's some things you have to, some questions you have to answer and things like that to indicate why. And that's just a personal decision that the college made based on state recommendations and things like that.
The question says, what is the program for high schoolers? I believe they mean that Erie 21 program that Ben and I'm about to say her name wrong. Chavez, yes. So that's a completely different chat. But if you want to give Amanda a call, who I'm quite sure will be able to answer those questions.
Absolutely.
At a different time, her information is in the chat. She would be able to go over the programs for the high schoolers. This one that we're doing tonight is for adults.
Yeah, we're branching out. We've been taking care of the kids for a while. Now it's time time to get with some other folks. So
definitely.
But we'd love to talk about your students as well. So feel free to reach out, like Shalonda said.
Yes. Are there any other questions? I didn't see any hands raised. Did we see any hands raised?
Yes, I have another question, please. It's about financial aid.
Mm-hmm.
So I previously attended four-year college, but I took a break for emergency situation, and I was receiving financial aid. So I basically took a leave from school. Would that have any effect on me taking this program, or it will just no?
Not at all. So we have, really all that we require is a high school diploma or an equivalent amount of training. So your college, whether or not you attended an undergraduate institution, 2-year, 4-year, whatever, pre-professional education, it won't impact the decision. So if you had to take a leave, that's totally okay for us as far as when you submit your application. That shouldn't impact it at all.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you all for your questions. I want to just give another minute to see if there are any other questions, any other program aides. If you think you need to ask any questions when you need to relay this information to any parent that you're talking to between now and the 23rd, let's do so at this time.
I will also put the link in the chat to the application so you can just pull it right up if you're interested.
Okay.
There you go.
Thank you so much for that, Amanda.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. It's been great to be with you. And we'll have another individual from our team presenting to another group on Thursday. So if you know people who might be interested in this and couldn't be there tonight, we'll be given the same presentation on Thursday. And I'm happy to talk to people one-on-one as well.
Tell them to register to
Yes.
make Rachel's
Yes.
life easy.
Yes, let's make Rachel's life easy.
Please register. Do applicants need a high school diploma?
You do not need a high school diploma. We ask for your highest level of education. So whether that's a GED or whatever education you may have pursued beforehand, that'll be, you'll have to just put that down in your application. It's not required for you to submit the application. We don't need transcripts or anything like that.
Are credits earned transferable?
Yes. So the hope for this is that if you don't already have a college degree, or maybe are looking to eventually have a college degree, you will gain 15 to 16 credits that you could apply either at Lemoyne or at another institution that would help you work towards a college degree or an associate's degree or whatever it is that you are pursuing. So they will transfer to a program that is I guess relevant. You could if you wanted to pursue computers or tech or innovation related program at another institution, that would transfer for you.
Will the program help you get employment upon graduation? I think that's something else you went over to as well.
Yeah, that's the goal. So we do have employers who are actually going to participate in the interview process as well, so that they can be invested in the very beginning, and then also will be involved throughout the program, so that you get to know them, they get to know you, and then the hope is that we will be able to help you gain employment upon completion of this as well. I saw another question.
Wonderful. Is academic support available?
Academic support is available. You will have an academic advisor throughout the program. So they'll meet with you to make sure that you're on track for your courses and that you are registered for the next classes that you need and all of that. Make sure you're not having any trouble with the course material. And then the professors of practice that will actually teach your classes will also be able to help you academically. And we are exploring some tutors that is not official right now. So I don't want to promise that, but we're hoping to incorporate them somehow as well. But you will definitely have the academic support you need.
Okay. And it says, how do applicants get connected with the surge reps?
Yeah, so they are, I feel like they are basically on our team at this point. So Kanan Webb and Liza Semide are the two that we work with through Syracuse Surge. So they have been involved as far as like the evaluation of the program. They are involved in the career connecting part of the program. They will be in the interviews on Thursdays, on the days that we're doing that. So they're starting Thursday. So you will be connected with them from the second you start to interview and go through the application process with us. They help us review the applications. They're going to be there at the orientation. So and the beauty of that is that if this isn't the right fit for you at the time, if you decide or we just don't mutually don't think it's the right fit, we will make sure you get connected with other resources. So we're not just going to be like, oh, sorry, not for you, and then send you away. We'll make sure you have a list of all the other possible opportunities, because there's learning communities, there's the Tech and Culture Network, there's another coding boot camp, there's another apprenticeship program coming down the pipeline. So there's a lot more opportunities to be had, and this is just one of them. So we will make sure you stay connected. Cutoff for age.
Yeah, is there a cutoff for the age?
We'll take anybody over the age of 18. So, anybody, we have people in the programs that we've done in the past who are in their 60s, who are just like looking for a new career path and want to shake things up. And we have people who are in their 20s. So we'll take anybody who's ready to learn and commit to learning for the next year with us.
These were all such great questions.
Yeah. Can you guys come to all of our events? Because the students don't always ask questions like that. So.
Yes, these were wonderful questions. So I appreciate everyone for thinking and getting your questions out there so that they can get answers. This was wonderful. If there are no other questions at this time, Amanda, we're going to turn it over to you to have final words.
I just again want to thank you all for taking the time to be here with us tonight, because I know that there are a million things you could be doing right now. And I really appreciate you taking the time to learn about the program, and we look forward to seeing your applications. And please know that my door is always open, my phone's always on. So if you need any information or just want to talk about whether or not you think it's the right program for you, please feel free to reach out and we will direct you either towards the right program or connect you with our friends at Center State and get you some options there. There are plenty available. Thank you again.
Thank you, Amanda. We appreciate you and all your information. I do
Thanks.
appreciate everyone for participating. This was a really great chat. Give us some information for our families to be able to further their education. At this time, if there are no other questions, I'm going to go ahead and say that this chat is ended. If you do have time, please. It says thank you. The information was good and everybody's saying thank you. So at this time, if you do know of someone who might need to hear this information, please have them register for Thursday's chat. Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone.